This cute little green keyfob is called an Aspod, and it's got a very memorable name, ASPOD, Aspod, and this could save your life. In fact, just watching this video could save your life. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Aspods that I'm going to give away, and I'll tell you how to enter the competition to win an Aspod at the end of this video. But first, I want you to watch the video because the content of the video in its own right could save your life. So here's how it works. When you have a heart attack, and the symptoms of a heart attack, most people know the symptoms, it's usually a sort of crushing pain, a feeling like a clamping in the chest, and you can get a pain going down your arms and up into your jaw. Weird, different effects for different results. I'm guessing it depends which artery is being blocked. But the first thing you should do when a heart attack is suspected is call the emergency services and report that you know someone is potentially having a heart attack. The next thing you should do, if you have an Aspod, is click it open and take out one of the 2 aspirins inside. And that's why it's called the Aspod, aspirin pod. And you think, well, if someone's having a heart attack, isn't it kind of more important to get more specialist drugs than that? And the answer is no. One of the first drugs and the most useful drugs to be taken right there and then is an aspirin. Now, we were taught in first aid training about this, and they said to get the aspirin into your bloodstream as fast as possible, you should crunch it or chew it. And all the advice says chew it. I've always thought of aspirins as quite hard and crunchy and crumbly. So I'm going to try this right now and I'm going to tell you what it's like. So I'm just going to eat an aspirin right now. And it's very easy to chew it. Like I say chew it, it's very easy to crunch because it's a very chalky. It's just disintegrating into powder in the mouth immediately. It's got a taste like acid. It's got a vinegary taste to it. Of course, it's salicylic acid, isn't it? So it is a mild acid. And once you've swirled it in your mouth, and that's where the first aid training said, swirl it around in your mouth for a good length of time once you've crunched it all up, because it enters the bloodstream faster through the membranes of your mouth than it does from the stomach. So you swirl it around your mouth a bit, and then you take some water and you wash it down. I'll wash that down right now. And now you've taken an aspirin. That is going to have a profound effect. Literally, within 5 minutes, that is going to be reducing the activity of the platelets. Now, let me show you the science here. When you have a heart attack, what normally happens is that the arteries have had sort of layers of plaque have built up over time in them. And when that plaque fractures, it triggers the action of your self-defense system for bleeding. And the platelets that are normally just flowing through the blood, start forming round where they detect the damage occurring. It triggers them and they start trying to clot it as if you're bleeding. And that clot is quite important because that starts blocking the flow of blood through the artery, and that's when the heart attack occurs. When you take an aspirin, it inhibits the operation of the platelets. It thins the blood, it stops them clumping together like that, and also frees them and can actually dissolve the clot. And that has an immediate sort of first aid effect of reducing the risk of that clot fully forming and causing more dramatic results. Once you get to hospital, they can then test and see what actually happened. If it turns out it wasn't a heart attack, then no great problem. All you've done is have an aspirin. It's not exactly going to be the end of the world. So the type of aspirin that's recommended for these is just generic Commoner Garden 300 milligram aspirin. And as it's delivered, it says aspirin not included, but the ones I send out, I will include some aspirins. I'll simply just get strips like this and I'll cut a couple off and leave them in the foil. Now, having said that, see if you cut the sharp edges of these off. If you watch this video and you suddenly realise, oh, I kind of want aspirin right now, you could just cut the end of a pack off like this. You could make a hole in it, you could put in a keyring. But the downside to that is that, you know, the foil will get damaged in your pocket and they could potentially get crushed. That is the whole point of the Aspod. It's a little secure holder that will protect them from being crushed and also provide some moisture protection as well because it closes quite tightly. And that is fundamentally what it is, it's a tiny little pod, a keyfob, that you'll have with you at all times. And if you think of it, if you thought you were having a heart attack right now and you thought, oh right, I should take an aspirin right now, do you have aspirin in the house? Do you know anywhere you could actually get one? Do you have one in your pocket? And the answer is most likely no, you don't have an aspirin convenient. I mean, some of you will have aspirin in the house. But certainly if you're out and about, the chance of you having an aspirin in your pocket is relatively low. And that's where the Aspod comes in, because it means you can always take an aspirin with you. So the competition is very simple. All you have to do to enter the competition is go into the comments down below and just type Aspod, A-S-P-O-D, Aspod. And I'll pick 6 random winners and I'll post them out. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, I'll post it out to you. The email address, the website address is very simple. It's www.aspod.co.uk. So that's www.aspod.co.uk if you want to look these up directly and order one if you suddenly decided this is an essential thing to have in your life. And from now on, I will be carrying an Aspod at all times, and I'll be giving one to Ralphie too. So because they didn't just send me the ones in the packet, they sent me a couple of extra loose ones spare. So these are going on my and Ralph's keyfobs. So that's the Aspod. Now you know that this video could save your life, because now you know about the aspirin. And it's also worth researching online, because there's a lot of useful information there about this effect and the effect it has on the platelets in your blood, and how it is probably one of the most essential pieces of first aid in the event of a heart attack. So I strongly recommend you enter the competition now by typing Aspod down below in the comments.